What's up, everybody? This is
There
your
we go.
boy DC1 and Nomis J. Welcome to the 313.
RAPAPORT.
Coming here
And
for episode 1.
as y'all know, last week was the introduction of it. Now this is officially episode 1 of our weekly rap report. We got a good show for y'all coming today, man. As y'all know, we had some breaking news on one sports end. You got some more breaking news on another sports end in Detroit. That's not so Detroit, but we'll tell you what that is. And then we're going to see a little Lions talk and stuff like that. So we got a real jam-packed show for y'all today. Nice little smooth progression. We won't hold y'all too long though. We get it because it's Monday. But how you doing, DC? What's going on, bro?
Man, I'm good, man. This is our episode 1, man. Like you said, we on here, man, just showing love to our fans, viewers out there, man. So, we're ready to roll, man.
Hey, that's what I like to do. I love rolling. So obviously today,
I roll up. Say, no, let me stop. I ain't doing the Wiz now. Let me do the Wiz Khalifa.
We ain't doing no hood love songs around here, man. We ain't doing that.
No, man, it's that Wiz Khalifa, man. I roll up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I'm quite sure that's what he meant, but man, I had a hell of an eventful day today. Oh God, this weather pattern is something else, y'all. I know we a lot of us enjoying it, but I love how they're giving us all this gray and sun at the same time. It's real unnerve wracking. If you catch my drift. But yeah, man, let's go ahead.
Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. So we definitely was going to get into the Detroit Pistons, and we definitely going to start off with Dwane Casey. So partner in crime, my homie. Let's start. Mm-hmm. What you feel about the Dwane Casey situation, man?
Well, for anybody who caught my recent video, obviously I don't personally hate the gentleman. Of course, he was a very nice man. A real fatherly figure type of guy too, I can tell around the players. But when it comes to the game of basketball, it was just not missing right. You know what I'm saying? He built the culture here. They've been talking about that culture ever since Troy we got there. I'm just gonna go ahead and call it the Black Connection because having two African American gentlemen running a basketball team together, trying to build a young roster, getting a group of guys to buy into the culture. I think that part has been achieved, but the other part of the culture, as we always talked about another franchise here in Detroit, it just wasn't adding up. Now, you are out here with a group of kids, and sometimes, in real life too, man, you learn that sometimes old people don't always have the patience with kids. Kids are going to make mistakes no matter how good and talented and smart they are, well-behaved and well-raised they are. They're going to make mistakes, and they're going to drive away from what the lesson plan is and what the game plan is. And as an old person, you have to have the patience. And to me, he didn't have the patience enough as a head coach to help mold this young roster together. Now, he did give them playing time. I believe he was trying to evaluate what he had to work with. But it was some good things he did as a coach. He's not a terrible coach. No, you don't have the decent success you had with the Raptors several years and past. Hello, little one. All right, we got to enjoy the show. Want to be a part of the SBC? Everybody want to be a part of the SBC.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, man. Much love to the little one, man. Of course. It's just that it was time. You can tell the roster was getting frustrated with his methods, and the way he was doing things. I believe they respect him. I can see it. But, this has been going on for the last couple of years. You saw Hami last season kind of have almost blew a gasket on the sideline because, he was trying to get into the game against the King. And was the game got away. He tried to throw him in there. Then he didn't want to go back in there no more. Lately we've been seeing Killian Hayes more frustrated. It's been a lot. But he is loved, though, by the real basketball fans. We do love the guy, but it's time to move on. And thank God that Troy Weaver elected to keep him around instead of firing him, because now there's still other good qualities about Dwane Casey. His play evaluations on who to get, the help organizing what they want to move and do forward to. Like, he knows something. You ain't at that Celtics game, Cade and Livers and other one of the young guys for no reason. You there for a reason. You're teaching them and having them watch certain things because there's some things that they need to know. And he was on them for a reason. I believe that he wants to help them become champions, but now it's time to go to a younger direction that's more compatible. And I think that's what it came down to. I think even to a certain extent, he even knew Dwane. So, I got nothing but praise for him. It took a lot for a man in his class and his experience to step down and let the future come through whoever it's going to be. So, salute to Dwane Casey. Shout out to him. I hope he now can have more time with his family, and continue to help us out to hope better forge our future with these young guys, man, and kind of be there in that locker room. You got some veterans in there now. You got John Beeline, who's been a long-time college coach, recent head coach. He's still there, and then now you got Dwane Casey in the front office. So hopefully now whoever they hire next, but which
like you said, what I said yesterday, I'm happy for Dwane Casey. Moving up to the front office. A lot of coaches, like he talked about in his post game conference. He said a lot of coaches don't get this opportunity to be in the situation. You get coaches that rarely coming off from coaching to go up to the front office right off rip. You see what happened with Brad Stevens. What I'm saying, when he coached the Celtics, and he went up afterwards, he went up to the front office. So you really see that type of stuff. And that, like you said, I'm happy for Casey. Like you say, he's a great man, great father. He's a father figure for these young guys. He's a great person to have around, man. He loves teaching. What I'm saying, teaching. Not just basketball, it's life. In general. You don't see none of these players on this Pistons team been in any type of trouble with the law or anything, or even with the team in any, there's not been no animosity with the players among each other. It hasn't been none of that. He kept them guys in a collective group of together, as a unit. But on the basketball side, it was that time. We just needed a new voice and we need a new leader on it to get this Pistons team in the right direction. So, like I said, I'm happy for him. Being there, so he had more time with his family. It just, like I said, the coaching part. Like you said, I said it for myself that he just wasn't the type of coach that can help develop younger talent that are rebuilding. Versus he's a better coach when contending. People say Toronto, he did it with Toronto, but the thing is with Toronto, they had veterans on that team as well with younger players. So it was much more fit for Dwane Casey. Balanced. It was absolutely balanced. Don't have that. He didn't have that here. Everybody was younger, that we drafted, So I mean, we had a couple of veteran players, but a lot of it didn't work out. I mean, it just it didn't work out. So this is the part that, hey, he doesn't have to worry about traveling with the team, coach, that he doesn't have to worry about that no more. That's when that new leader and that new voice comes in and say, hey, we're gonna whoever the coach we get, this is the scheme we're gonna be running. Our defense, we gotta get our defense together. We got to get our defense together. This is the offensive scheme we gonna run. We want everybody to share the basketball. We gonna play together as a unit. So, but yeah, man, like I said, I'm just happy for Casey, man, and this is something that we as Pistons fans and that we need. So, definitely.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about the future. At the end of the day, you're seeing it in all sports now. Every sports team is going for, a younger coach now in this modern day era of national sports. So although Dan Campbell looks like he's about 50, 60 years old because of when he's built it, gray hair he has, Dan Campbell is only like mid 40s. You know what I'm saying? He played the game. And although he's not considered to be the most, S's and O's head coach, he has the scheme. He understands different schemes, though. He understands what he wanted. And that's what Pistons need to now. I always say that as far as, obviously, we got some head coaching candidates now. To one of the leading names is Dwane Doku, who we've been talking about since, the beginning of the season. Trouble to happen with him, I think, is unnecessary. And the thing about him, I do want to respond to Big A about this shot the week of the Kings and Big A, but he was stating that we don't officially know how good of a coach Dwane Doku was. Not to quite try to quote him, but I get where he was coming from. But it's like, for me, regardless if it's Ime Udoka or Quinn, what's his name, Chris? I forgot from the
Milwaukee Bucks, Charles Lee.
Yeah, Charles Lee, or whoever it is. They're all really good candidates, but it's just that you want to ensure whoever you get, it's about the direction of what you're trying to do. And I used to say this years ago, back when Dwane Casey had his first couple of years here, it's like the team doesn't have an identity. What's the identity of the team? Ideally, the best Pistons teams have always been defense. So we need to start there. Like, who out of these candidates give you the best feel for overall defense? Like, one of them start with Dwane Doku. I don't think this would be a Matt Patricia thing where you get him. Like, this is a guy, he took over a team that had a lot of talent, but you got to understand that too. He was taking over for a coach who chose to step down as well and move into the offense, a higher role up there. So that's a lot of pressure when you come in as a first-year coach and you do get the team to the finals. And at the end of the day, how you win a championship in any sport, to me, regular season, it could be 25% coaching and 75% talent. But when you get into the postseason and onwards to the finals, it literally turns into like a not 60 thing. It can sometimes be 51% coaching, 49% talent. You know what I'm saying? Like, Golden State had talent, but coaching and experience is what they had against the Celtics. At the end of the day, and that nightmare matchup for the Celtics to deal with, because that experience, had that been another team, maybe the Celtics would have won. But it's just about that experience and that coaching. Steve Kerr been there for a long time now. That team, so in so many different ways and forms, they had their regressions, they had their progression. So when you look at Ime Udoka, we never got a chance to see him respond. But for what I believe, he would have responded well. I think they would have still been as good as they are right now without him. And I think they will still have a chance to go to the finals. That's just my belief. I don't think this is like you take somebody from a failing situation, like how another sport we talk about, football, with that Patriots thing, he's failing. As long as he can adapt to us there and understand that he's dealing with a bunch of young guys, that's the only. But I would like to believe he will be patient with the young guys, because everything that has happened in his personal life, it sort of affected his professional life. So if he does get an opportunity, a second chance, I would like to believe that Udoka would make the most of it. So that's why I would like to believe. And if he's not the hire, I think that the direction should be played. This is a team full of guys who are under 20 years old. I mean, it's only so much you can achieve with that. I know you got a lot of money coming in free agency, but there's not a lot of power names up there that fit. And we're not a free agent destination. This team trading. So and then we don't even know where our pick is going to be at and who's going to be available there for, or where we should go if we do have number one. We just only speculation. So that's why I believe that the Pistons may have their new head coach probably by the end of this week. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's pushing it. What you think about that?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go back to you. Like I said, the point that you made, though, good. People, like you were saying about, coaching the Celtics, getting to the finals, and he got out coached by Steve Kerr and all that. But you have to look at it too. I mean, he shows us he's a good coach, and a lot of people forget. He was under Greg Popovich. He was under Greg Popovich as assistant. He used to play for the San Antonio Spurs. So getting that knowledge. Same with Brett Brown. He was when he was coaching for the Philadelphia 76ers, he was under Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
Look at Mike Budenholzer. He was under Greg Popovich. He ended up getting a head coaching job to Atlanta. Had Atlanta 1 year, number one seed. Yeah. Atlanta Hawks had the number one seed. It's the same. You made Doka.
You and Becky Hammond. WNBA.
Becky Hammond. I was getting to that too. Look at what she done. She got the Las Vegas Aces a championship. Won a championship. It's that coaching tree. And like I said, everybody's first, saying, you made Doka. I don't have no problem with that. To me, and I said it yesterday on We Three Kings, shout out to them guys. I said, to me, I say Sam Cassell. And the reason I say Sam Cassell, a couple reasons. I said Sam Cassell never got a head coaching job. I think he deserves it. He's a former player, former champion. He knows how to play the point guard position.
Yeah.
And on top of that, he preaches defense. So we need, not saying Ime Udoka doesn't.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I get it. It's just me. I like Sam Cassell. If we get him, I think he can help. He can help
play.
Yeah, he can help these. He can help these. He help these players and held them accountable as well. He's going to get them. Remember, he's under Doc Rivers. He's been under Doc Rivers' assistant for a long time, from the Clippers to the 76ers. So he's learned a lot of stuff for Doc. So if he gets the opportunity to be a head coach for here, he's going to bring that defensive mentality, and on top of that, he's going to bring the no nonsense bull crap. That's I believe. I'm not saying you made Duncan won't, but it's just my personal opinion. I think bringing Sam Cassell, he's gonna help this Pistons team.
Yeah,
no problem with Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson deserves another opportunity. Charles Lee, he's been an assistant under Milwaukee Bucks and Mike Budenholzer. Same with Darvin Ham was. Darvin Ham was an assistant. Look where he got a head coaching job with the Lakers. He's been doing a good job. Although, in fairness, you do have LeBron and AD, so it's a little easier coaching two superstars, and versus not coaching superstars. But I'm giving Darvin Ham his credit. Saying what he's doing.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that the coach in the coaching tree is like is huge, and I like all the candidates that is put out there. I have no problem with it at all. No problem with it at all. And then, like I said, I know that everybody said the big name Udoka.
Yeah.
But it's not guaranteed he's gonna be our coach. We gotta make sure we have the person is the right fit. The name doesn't mean anything if you doesn't have the right fit. for this organization, for the culture, for these players. So
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
that's a very understandable point. Like you said, with Sam Cassell, the thing about it too, when you look at Sam as a point guard, it's not just only getting them active. I think it will help the bigs finally too, because part of the best friend on the court for a point guard is always going to be his big. That's like his big bodyguard, like image of the little guy hanging with the big guys, right? So the idea is that the bigs are a lot better in the scheme. Part of the reason why though our defense is bad is due to a combination of both. To me, really three elements. That's like our defense bad. That I will hope that whoever we get as a head coach can help fix. It's partially due to personnel, development for us, the bigs not knowing their assignments all the time and kind of looking lost, like Bagley does sometimes, and Wiseman does sometimes, and like them needing to get stronger. On top of that, that's like 1A and 1B for that part. And then on top of that, to really get like a defensive team, you kind of need veteran players too that embody defense. And I think one of the areas that you got to start with, where you get a veteran player that's good on defense, it's really got to be a big. And I know it's like we already have like 3-4 bigs already, but I need a coach that if you come in here and you go make a move, I need to be full bid that can bring defense to this element. Somebody that can help get people together, like a guy or a 5 or a hybrid, whatever the case. Because that's, to me, how all good Pistons defenses were always started, with guard play on the wings and then the big. And we need that to start our defensive tooling. We have Jalen Duran, but he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? He's still developing, and more started moving forward. So I expect our new head coach, whoever that is, to have that recognition. I think Sam Cassell would understand that a lot. And like I told you before, Sam Cassell is part of that little consistent. I'm noticing with the sisters, where a good coach from their staff, where he was a head coach there, or where he was an assistant, whoever we bring him over here, and we have some decent success or better with that personnel. Again, Mo Cheeks, to me, I know some people have mixed emotions about it. Like I said, with a real roster that was built, I think he'd do better. But he came from that system organization. That's why I liked him. And to me, he would have been more successful had the Pistons been on where they are right now. The people they had then. The situation was right. And then on top of that, of course, Larry Brown. So that's another reason why I want to have Sam Cassell coming here. It's kind of weird, but I like what he brings to his experience, man. Like you said, as a guard, I would love to see him get with Killian Hayes, and get with Ivy and help continue to help.
Exactly. Not just not just like you said, K Cunningham as well. You know what I'm saying? Get them guards, and what I'm saying, hey, play defense. Get like K Cunningham, you are our main guy. You know what I'm saying? You're the floor general. I want you to make the right decision. Limit your turnovers. I want you to, that's the thing with K Cunningham. When he was playing, at times he was turning the ball over too much. It seemed like you say, bringing a guy like Sam Cassell, been a point guard, in the league. He's been a champion, 2-time champion. He been around for a long time. He's going to help the guard play. He's going to play defense, and they're going to distribute the ball and make the right decisions. So, and like I said, Udoka, no problem. I have no problem with that. Mark Jackson, no problem. Charles Lee, he could get an opportunity if Detroit decide to go that direction. But I just believe, me personally, I think Sam Cassell could be the guy to be the right fit to bring that attitude, like that winning attitude, to this team. So.
Yeah, I think that's the cream of the crop right there, as far as out of all the him. And you got probably took one thing into, maybe a guy like Jerry Stackhouse too. If you could bring him at least back to the organization. Or I like one of y'all said yesterday was Tayshaun too. I would love to see him come back.
Yeah, Tayshaun. I think Tayshaun would be an assistant.
Yeah, assistant coach. Now I wish we can get Rasheed back as an assistant coach because, like I said, he should have never been fired by Stan Van Gundy in the first place. I don't know how you do that. Just to bring in your boy Tim Hardaway. I just don't understand how you take away what these players needed. Like Rasheed Wallace is like, I look at him and Marshawn Lynch in the same era. They've got this essence about them where they kind of have like that moon to the effect. Like they bring the grittiness out of you more and your doggish attitude. And the thing about it is that Rasheed is a king of post moves. And you talking about somebody that can help you develop and not just your defensive game. He gonna put his ass about defensive game, but him with Bagley and Duran, you talking about helping them find a 3-shot. That's what they gonna have to do. They eventually gonna have to get some floor space and 18-footers. You talking about a guy who can help them literally with that. Like, why would you get rid of somebody like that? And now he has these personal Pistons. I don't like that. I think we need to mend that relationship because I don't like in our guys who, especially ones who won one here. I don't like them having bad taste in their mouth when it comes to this organization, especially when they the ones who won here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just a low class sense of thing. Rasheed should be on this team, getting into them bids like he should be in Bagley's ass right now. He should be in freaking like.
Oh, sorry everybody. He's technical difficulties. So we were talking about having Rasheed Wallace, being as an assistant head coach. So that would be huge to me, and it's also known that we need somebody like him, that Rasheed Wallace, that can help bring that toughness and that help work on that post move. So it's definitely we need Rasheed Wallace. Like you said, he worked with Jalen Duren. He worked with Jalen Duren. Oh yeah, no, you good, man. I got you back. Yeah. So I was saying that before I let you jump back, and I was saying that Jalen Duren worked with Rasheed Wallace when Rasheed Wallace was the assistant coach at University of Memphis. So he's very familiar with Rasheed Wallace. So, if we bring Rasheed Wallace back as an assistant, that would be, like I said, it's something that Duren's already familiar with back when Duren was in college. Like you said, help Marvin Bagley or Irvis Wiseman, Isaiah Stewart work on a post game, work on more of the inside game, more at the rebounding and the defending down low. So bringing Rasheed Wallace would be so huge on that in this coaching on the coaching staff if we end up bringing them. So we would love to see Rasheed Wallace back. So, but yeah, go ahead. No,
I was saying my connection really interrupted me. Yeah, it's just that he would help this team as far as their fundamentals on the game. I think people really misunderstand how intelligent of a player Rasheed actually is, and being able to have a guy who's be willing to give you that personal time, to help you in your development. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get rid of those guys, man. Your organization, you don't treat them that way. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully, maybe they can mend something with him in the future and bring him back. I think he could. I think he was on verge of being so detrimental to this coaching staff when he was here. But like I said, that situation with Stan Van Gundy, that's what I always salute to Mo Cheese too, is because he had him there with that was his assistant. It's like that should have been the staff right there to kind of help us then in that rebuild, like using part of your history to help better the future. And I need the Pistons team to go back to that. So whoever we do bring in as the head coach, understand we need somebody that's from this team that was recently here as a winner from that squad that's going to step in and kind of help us out because they understand what it's like to be part of a system, how to play for each other. They kept their egos in check for the most part, the same way we see about these young guys, but there's a potential chance that you could grow here if you don't have the right people in place. So I need whoever coach we have, like I said, Sam Cassell, he was a player. He's a championship player. He understands what it's like to win. So I would need him to bring somebody else who has that pedigree next to him that's articulate in that same way that can help mold. And, you know, at the end of the day, pretty much everybody from that 04 staff, including some of the backups, were brainiacs when it came to understand the game of basketball. So that's what I want to see for the Pistons team moving forward. Outside of that, hopefully get a good head coach, you know, immediately as soon as possible, because where we get, I think that's when they start establishing their identity and they can start moving and building towards it now. And you want him there on as far as the all season. You don't want to wait too long for head coach, because you got player evaluations, you know, his input, what he go have to have, and then you gotta have, you know, the draft stuff. Well, in free agency, may feel like, so you want to as soon as possible. So I'm hoping if they made this move that quick to let Casey step down, I'm hoping they had the head coach hired by this week, no later by the beginning of next. So that way we can start evaluating fast, because it's about trying to get to that playoffs and that play-in and being in that top 8-9 seed area next year. Moving forward. But any last thoughts though, man?
Like I said, we just definitely looking for who's our new voice and leader will be. Definitely looking forward to this the draft and the free agency, man. Like it's just the off season is here. So the off season is here. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. So you got any final thoughts before I get to the NBA playoff picture?
Pretty much just, man, make sure they make the right move, and you know, make sure y'all really are working together on trying to get the right pieces in here. But other than that, yeah, go.
All right. So we know we got the NBA playoffs. The play-in is officially going to start tomorrow. We got 2 play-in games tomorrow. We got 2 play-in games Wednesday. The first play-in game was the 7th and 8th seeds. The Eastern Conference is the Atlanta Hawks versus the Miami Heat. Miami's at home, and we have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the LA Lakers. So no, who you got for between Atlanta and Miami?
Atlanta and Miami is kind of tricky now. I sit there and think about it, but see, Atlanta seems like they're a little more hotter right now. Miami, I'm going with the experience of Spoelstra and that big down there, man. I'm going with Miami. To me, they got the experience. They've been through the tough situations. They was recently in the finals. I gotta still kind of go with it. But Miami has this magic about them, man. It's like as soon as you start counting them out at the last minute, they're still in there. They always had that kind of.
Oh yeah,
I'm going Miami with this one.
You're going to Miami. I'm definitely going. I'm going with Miami as well, because I said if Atlanta was at home, I would have trusted Atlanta more by them being at home. But since Miami is at home, I trust Miami. So both teams is not that great on the road, especially Atlanta. Miami's a little bit better on the road than them, but not as much. So I'm going with Miami. So with that. But next game will be the Minnesota Timberwolves and then Los Angeles Lakers. We probably know where we're going with this one.
We'll say it 1, 2, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Minnesota.
I'm gonna go with the Lakers, man. Unfortunately, I didn't care for this. Minnesota just. They gotta be the dumbest team in the league right now. And the news too, Rudy Gobert is suspended.
Yeah.
For tomorrow's game. And Jaden McDaniels is out for the rest of the season / playoffs if they make it that far. So don't get me started with them. So the next, we got Wednesday's play-in game. We have the 9 and 10 seeds, Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. So we're going to start with the East. The Toronto Raptors at home versus the Chicago Bulls. Who you got for that one?
Ooh, see, I knew these next two going to be real hard because I can see them. I don't trust them. I don't trust them. I just don't trust the Bulls. They're a good team. They got a lot of talent. I just don't trust them, man. You start thinking it's gonna be the Zach LaVine show and shit, and it's like, no. I'm going with Toronto. My heart is telling me Toronto. In my brain, I'm going with Toronto on this one. It's kind of hard, but I'm going with Toronto.
I'm going with Toronto. I think Toronto's the better team. I think Toronto.
Yeah.
Nobody don't want to see Toronto in the playoffs. To me, I would say they're more likely gonna play Milwaukee. Milwaukee gonna have their hands full against Toronto. If they were Chicago,
Toronto can hit you with two. Oh my god!
If Chicago plays them, it's gonna be like what happened last year when Milwaukee beat them. Milwaukee beat them in 5 games. I think Milwaukee probably will sweep Chicago. Chicago's too inconsistent. I mean, they got the talent. They're just too inconsistent. So Toronto, Nick Nurse is coaching a hell of it. Man, he's doing a hell of a job with this Toronto Raptors team, man. I mean, they dealt with injuries, and these guys play hard. I mean, Toronto is. I mean, Milwaukee gonna have their hands full. So we definitely both going with the baby dinosaurs. The baby dinosaur. So the last play-in game in the Western Conference, the New Orleans Pelicans at home versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Come on now.
Oh no, man! Oh! I want to go with.
That's gonna be an exciting game.
That's the game I think out of all. These Wednesday game will be better too. The better teams are on Wednesdays night. Like, oh my God! Okay, who healthy? Let's start. We gotta take a minute for this one. Who healthier? I want to say OKC.
OKC. Well, they both kind of. Well, Zion's not playing, obviously. So, but Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, they playing. I don't know Jose Alvarado. I don't know if he's playing. But yeah, OKC, they healthy for the most part. So it's gonna be a good game.
Who's better right now offensively? To you, OKC probably.
I said my pick. I'm picking OKC for the upset. I'm picking OKC for the upset.
Like, defensively, but see, and the thing that scares me about New Orleans though is CJ McCollum. He knows how to play in these little type of games like this, and it's like he goes off right when you least expect him to be available. Like, it's hard judging playoff McCollum than it is regular season. Like regular season McCollum, you pretty much understand what he go do. Playoff McCollum, Brandon Ingram, we don't know if this is going to be his coming out party this year. His potential coming out party, far as just like taking that next step, where it's like, okay, next season, if they all healthy, watch out. Because there's been speculation going for a while now since we went to Lakers. So we probably about to start seeing Brandon Ingram playing some of the best basketball these next couple years. I think he just getting started if he stay healthy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. If they had Zion, I'll be full in with New Orleans. But because of the defense that OKC does have, but they still real young. I don't know, man. Like, I don't see.
SGA, baby, SGA.
Yeah, that's what I know. That's why I was going to go with it. But it's like,
and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of SGA and Josh Giddey. I love them. Yes.
But it's like the experience is on New Orleans, but it's like when you look at SGA and Josh Giddey, it's like, I don't know. And then they got good. Both teams are good defensively. One team is more injured. So I'm going to just roll it like this. I'm going to just shoot the dice. and say, OKC, go get this one. But if Zion was healthy, I'll be going New Orleans because I think Zion is a little bit hard to stop. You go have to game plan a little bit different with his ass. I'm gonna go with OKC on this one. I'm gonna gamble the dice with OKC. They are a little hot, but man, my gut just can't step away from New Orleans, man.
I know, man. I know. I know, man.
That's so hard. So I said, my problem is something different. Playoff time, man. It's like,
I know. So we're gonna go with the Eastern Conference, the ones that's already set, the 3-6 and the 4-5 matchups. So we're gonna start with the 3 and 6. The Philadelphia 76ers versus the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, we're going with Philly in this one. Brooklyn just. Yeah, I think Brooklyn's gonna maybe win one game. I'd be shocked they win 2 games in that series. I just think Philly's be too much for them. So Brooklyn's they gonna put a fight, but I just don't think that Brooklyn has enough to stop Embiid, James Harden, and whatever he have his moment, good game moment.
Yeah.
I just think Philly probably win at 5. I won't be surprised they sweep them. I don't think they will sweep them, but I won't be surprised. I just think Brooklyn just don't have enough. Okay. So we both with Philly.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Can't trust Doc, but it is what it is. This
they
one,
they go blame me, follow.
You can't blame Ben Simmons. I know.
Oh, wait a minute. Damn Bucks team. I mean Brooklyn team.
Well, he done for the season, so it don't even matter. Yeah. Ben is not playing anymore anyway, so it don't matter. The 4 and 5 matchup. This is one of the most intriguing ones in the Eastern Conference. The Cleveland Cavaliers versus the New York Knicks. I'm taking the New York Knicks in 7.
I'm taking the Cavs.
Cavs in what?
6.
Okay.
Because I see why you picked the New Knicks. I don't trust the Knicks defense.
Oh, they gonna show up. I just need Julius Randle to show up.
And see, that's the thing, man. We can't depend on somebody to show up. I feel like Cleveland can beat you ways, man. Too. That's another reason why I think their defense is better. I think their guard play can match them. But I feel like with Cleveland, they can match you a size so easily, and they got different shooters from different ranges. Like they can hit you with so many different formations, man. Too, and I feel like that's why they'll win. Now, the Knicks, if you let their guards get a little too active, they could take a couple of them games because, like, one thing about Knicks, once their guards get going, they go and they stay home. They don't turn off, and you ain't finna really beat them once they start getting real active. But if that defense put the clamp on the Knicks, and the Knicks start, making mistakes and not, shooting, the players not really showing up, Knicks is gonna be done. I don't think they got enough defense to stop Cleveland. If they can beat them, they got the offense to beat them. I don't think they got enough defense to stop Cavaliers from beating them, though. I feel like Cavaliers could probably stop them more than the Knicks will stop them. If that makes sense. And Donovan Mitchell, let's be honest, last time we seen him spider in the playoffs, he was a whole nother animal, bro.
That's true. That's true. I'm not taking nothing away from Cleveland, man. I think New York is that time, man. I think New York, they can win. I think they're gonna put it up. It's either put up or shut up. So I think New York is gonna win the 7. It's gonna be a tight series.
I feel like more chemistry is on that Cavs team, though.
I think New York is a little better because I think New York. I mean, you got to remember too. New York was in the playoffs 2 years ago, and they lost to Atlanta. So now you bring in 9. They didn't make it last year. Now you didn't make it this year. Now you bring in a guy. You bring in Brunson.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He was just in the Western Conference. And he was in the Western Conference last year.
How he look in the Western Conference versus the last time Mitchell was?
But he was in the Western Conference with Dallas.
Yeah, you know who's on Dallas?
I mean, it was Luka. And Dwane finished. Yeah.
Who's the main guy next to Mitchell on that team he was with?
For Utah?
There's a center that's a soft ass center.
Oh man, we're not finna go for Mr. Suspended guy. We're not going there. But no, we're not going there. But yeah, let's move on forward to the Western Conference before we get on to the Lions talk right quick. Western Conference, we got the 3-6 matchup. We're gonna go and see the Sacramento Kings. I can't believe we saying this. The Sacramento Kings versus the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, God.
Go ahead with your breakdown on that right quick.
That's another hard one. That kind of feels like the Pelicans and the OKC right now. Because, the Kings are a new team. Golden State are an experienced playoff team, obviously. I try my best not to just lean with the team with the most experience because Golden State are having their problems, but I think they're about to start settling back in now. You're giving the Golden State Warriors a chance to still kind of win out. I don't care how young and good you look. That team, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to roll with Golden State on this one because, like I said, it's different facing the Warriors in the regular season than it is facing the Warriors in the postseason. It's just a difference. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying they're unbeatable or anything of that nature. You never know. It could be a surprise, but I don't think Sacramento is quite ready yet. You can get confused by seed. Sometimes, a 4th seed could lose to a 7th seed. You know what I'm saying? In the series. So you got to be careful with that. Going based on seeds, and they are a good team. Sacramento's a good team. But I think right now, I want to gamble and say it's still the Warriors right now. They still got to prove they got to be beaten all the way. So till then, I'm still going with the Warriors. But I won't be surprised if somehow, some way, due to a 7-game series, the Kings come out with it. But I still think it's Golden State. I think it's still Golden State. They're younger than Golden State, but Golden State, it's something about that playoff time, man. They just play a little different. And every time you got them down, they come right back. It's the same team that was battling lost the last finals they lost, and they still took it to like a 7-game series. Like you don't just knock that team out. So I'm still kind of rolling with Golden State.
Okay, well, I had to step away right quick. I'm gonna go with the Warriors in 7. I think the Warriors will win in 7. I know they've been horrible on the road this year. Horrible. For a championship experienced team to be so horrible on the road in this regular season, they thank God they won a lot of home games. So it's gonna be a back and forth. I love it. This is one of the matchups I really like because this is gonna be a back and forth. Both teams has not been great on defense. It's gonna be a lot of offensive scoring. You got to give a shout out to Mike Brown. Mike Brown, he definitely should be here, Coach of the Year. Way he got the Sacramento team. It's just amazing. You seen the Sacramento Kings? It's like it's back. That crowd's gonna be going crazy. This is going to be a back and forth series, and like I said, I just think this little bit of experience, the championship DNA that the Warriors have is going to prevail, in this series. So this is going to be an exciting one to watch. This is definitely going to be exciting. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to that one. So we'll move forward. We got one more. You already know this one coming. And you already know who I'm picking. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Phoenix Suns. Clippers in 6, baby. Clippers in 6. Clippers in 6. Man, get out of here, man. Get out of here, man. Come on. Man, get out of here, man. Come on, man. Stop. Man. Hey,
No,
no,
I'm saying,
we getting our revenge for what they did to us in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. So we getting our revenge.
ooh, Westbrook versus CP3. Ooh, this is gonna be good. Now, let me ask you an unbiased question: who do you think are better on defense? Always,
Who's better on defense?
in your opinion.
Clippers could be the better defensive team, or are you just talking about players?
No, I'm just saying on general, who's the better team defensively?
Clippers.
Who has the better matchups? You think? Like,
If you can, I mean, I'm put like this. Ty Lue is going to put different. Ty Lue has a different scheme of how he does things on the defensive side. But I think at times you're gonna see Kawhi's on Kevin Durant, Marcus Morris on Kevin Durant. You might get Nicholas Batum at times. So it depends what Ty Lue does. He's gonna throw different people around. So I can't definitively say what which player is going to be guarding KD, which player is going to be guarding Chris Paul, which player is going to guard Devin Booker, because it's going to be what Ty Lue does. He's going to throw some stuff at him. You know what I'm saying? So I can't definitively say because of Ty Lue what he does. It's adjustment.
It's a shame part is I don't like necessarily voting against Kawhi Leonard. That's my guy, but I'm gonna have to go with the Suns on this one.
Suns and what?
6. So I think it's gonna be either Clippers 6 or Suns 6. I think it's gonna come out of 6 games. It could go to 7.
I'll tell you this: Phoenix Suns do not want to go 7. And go 7, Clippers winning it. I'm telling you that now. Go 7, Clippers is winning it in Phoenix. So that's it on the NBA playoff picture. Our predictions. So definitely looking forward to it, man. So let's get into some Lions talk, man. I'll let you go ahead and start it off with it.
Well, first I want to throw out some breaking news before we touch the Lions. The Baltimore Ravens have signed OBJ. It's a 1-year, $15 million deal. Also, he has a chance to make 3 more on top of that. So, that's definitely a position of need. They needed for a while. He is coming off an injury again. But this probably be the best receiver Lamar Jackson's had in his entire career, outside of tight end Mark Andrews. So we'll see right now if he'll be able to connect with OBJ. I think it's a risky signing, but I think it's a much needed signing that they've been missing. They need a legit wide receiver, and just in the nick of time too, because they need to get the connection in OTAs and training camp and everything else going. And not this may seem like they might keep Lamar Jackson, so we can definitely now skip out of that whole thing with Detroit, Lamar Jackson to Detroit thing. But yeah, definitely. Good. I say a good move for Lamar. Hopefully now. Let's see if they can get a contract deal with him. Who knows? But yeah, OBJ is in Baltimore, people. We just go wait till Gerald gets back. But yeah, I think it's a solid move for them, man. Like now I gotta see now for them, hopefully they can get something in the draft. You know what I'm saying? I just want to touch on that real quick, but I'll ask Gerald more about it. He comes back. But for now, man, listen, Detroit Lions are in preparation for draft, man. Y'all already know the deal. They trying to get this team built, obviously. They want to build on this defense, I know for a fact. There's been rumor has it they were interested in signing Teddy Bridgewater, which I think that should have been the case before you re-sign Nate Sudfeld. Not that Nate Sudfeld has a big contract or anything, but I just think, for the Lions, that I would have did that first before I re-signed Nate Sudfeld, and at least made a point then for Teddy Bridgewater. Because at the end of the day, Jared Goff stays healthy. Nobody's seeing the field. let's just know we got a top 3 record in the league, something like that, and we can pour the rest our starting quarterback. Which knowing the Lions, they never like to do stuff like that. So I think it is what it is about it, but it does. If they do sign Teddy Bridgewater, it kind of lets you believe that maybe they won't draft a quarterback at all in this draft, which is something I prefer to do. Even if that means they don't go in the top 3 rounds, like if you just take a flyer on a guy late just to see what he's got, and if next year's your year draft, maybe so. But I'm like this, depending on 18 where we at and how the draft is flowing, I always said I'll take Hendon Hooker over a couple of these other guys because I feel like quarterbacks have an extra 10 years span on their lifespan in today's NFL now. And Hooker gives you a lot of good base to work with. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about him being 25. There's other young quarterbacks too, but I feel like with him, you get more quarterback, you do athleticism. With some of these other guys, they run, I think, get more athleticism than they do quarterback. So I feel like he's more of a balance in this draft than like a Richardson or some of these other guys like from UCLA. He's a good prospect, but I feel like to me, Hooker gives you more ready to go quarterback. So I'm cool with that, but